Good morning everyone. In this video, we are going to cover the current affairs. For mobile optimized ebooks, please install GKToday Academy app. You can attempt the quiz in this app and you can read detailed explanation. For regular updates, please join our Telegram channel. The link is given in the description box. We have started a new channel, Civils Academy. You can subscribe to it if you find it relevant. For hard copy books, you can visit our website gktbooks.com. Now, let's start. What is the new limit of EPF contribution up to which interest would be exempted from tax as per the amendments made in the Finance Bill of 2021. So the new limit is 5 lakh. That means deposit threshold limit up to 5 lakh is exempted from taxation if there is no employer contribution. Please note that during budget announcement, the Finance Minister had announced that interest earned on EPF contribution above 2.5 lakhs will be taxable from 1st of April. Now, this threshold limit has been increased to 5 lakhs. Now for EPF, what is EPF? It is Employees Provident Fund. For EPF, we have EPFO, Employees Provident Fund Organization. It is a statutory body. Statutory means it has been constituted as per the provisions of law. And the name of Act is Employees Provident Fund and Miscellaneous Provisions, Act of 1952. And it is under Labour Ministry. That is Ministry of Labour and Employment. With reference to defense, what was Vajra that was in news recently? So it is OPV, that is Offshore Patrol Vessel, and it is a ship of Indian Coast Guard. Name is Vajra. It has been built by Larsen & Toubro. Recently it was in news because it was commissioned in service. So it is the 6th out of 7 offshore patrol vessel. Now please note that ICZ under MOD, that is Indian Coast Guard, is under the administrative control of Ministry of Defense. So Vajra is offshore patrol vessel. It is related to ICZ. ICZ is related to MOD. Present Defense Minister is Mr. Rajnath Singh. It has been built by L&T, that is Larsen & Toubro. The Union Minister of Education has inaugurated the Shahid Bhagatsingh Samara in which state? This SMART stands for Memorial. So this was in New Delhi. So DU, that is University of Delhi, organized a program to commemorate 90 years of martyrdom of Bhagatsingh, Sukhdev and Rajguru. 23rd of March is observed as Shahid Divas or Martyrdom Day. And on this event, Union Education Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank virtually inaugurated this Shahid Bhagatsingh Samarak. Apart from that, it was also announced the existing collection of books on freedom fighters in this Smarak has been converted into Shahid Smriti Pustakalaya, that is a kind of library. Now recently Government of Delhi was also in news as it announced its new excise policy. As per that excise policy, the minimum age for liquor consumption has been reduced from 25 to 21. Delhi was also in news because of National Capital Territory of Delhi Amendment Bill 2021. It was also in news because of Mati Festival. So this is a festival which is usually celebrated in Purvanchal and this was organized in New Delhi as well. Which Indian state has recorded a huge decline in the incidence of tuberculosis at the rate of 7.5%. So this state is Kerala, and therefore because of its efforts, the state has won the bronze medal in Health Ministry's certification of efforts towards elimination of TB. TB is tuberculosis. Recently, Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan also launched Tribal TB Initiative. So the objective is to make India or TB Mukt Bharat. Please note that every year on 24th of March, World Tuberculosis Day is observed. And the theme is Clock is Ticking. Apart from that, recently, Dr. Harshvardhan has been appointed as the chairperson of Stop TB Partnership Board. Recently, Kerala was also in news because of Arya Rajendran. She is the youngest mayor in our country and she became the mayor from Thiruvananthapuram in Kerala. Kerala is the first state in our country to provide MSP for fruits and vegetables. What is the rank of India in the latest International Intellectual Property Index? So, this index is released annually and it is released by US Chamber of Commerce, GIPC. What is GIPC? It is Global Innovation Policy Center. So as per this index, India is on 40th position. Now recently USA was also in news as India and US agreed to re-establish the Indo-US Homeland Security Dialogue. So both countries are going to cooperate with each other in terms of security. So the objective is to discuss important security issues such as cybersecurity and emerging technologies. The first such homeland security dialogue between these two countries was organized in 2011. During the administration of Donald Trump, this was stopped, and now both countries agreed to re-establish this dialogue. So that's why it was in news. What is Manyamkonda Jatra, which was in news recently? So it is interstate religious festival, and it is celebrated in the states of Andhra Pradesh, Odisha. So this festival involves shifting of idols from Odisha to Andhra Pradesh. Now apart from this festival, few other festivals were in news. Recently, Uttar Pradesh government organized Banana Festival in Kushinagar district. Apart from that, recently Hola Mohalla festival was also in news, and it is celebrated by the Sikh community in Punjab. In addition to that, Navroz festival was also in news. So this is a Iranian and Persian New Year festival. Now answer in comment box. Recently Amrit Mahotsav was in news. What is this Amrit Mahotsav? Which country has recently proposed a UN sponsored plan to end the civil war in Yemen? So this country is Saudi Arabia. Actually there is a civil war going on in Yemen, and now Saudi Arabia has proposed that there should be a ceasefire, and it should be United Nations sponsored ceasefire. Now important aspects from exam perspective are: first, location of Yemen, capital of Yemen, then this term Houthi rebels. So these are also related to Yemen. Recently Saudi Arabia was also in news as it is going to host the Asian Games in 2034. In 2030, Qatar is going to host Asian Games. Capital of Qatar is Doha. Capital of Saudi Arabia is Riyadh. Union Cabinet has approved MOU, that is Memorandum of Understanding, between UPSC, that is Union Public Service Commission of India, and its counterpart in which country? So this country is Afghanistan. Counterpart means a similar organization or a similar position in that country. So MOU was signed for the cooperation between UPSC of India, that is Union Public Service Commission of India, and IAR-CSC of Afghanistan. What is IAR-CSC? It is Independent Administrative Reforms and Civil Services Commission. So both these organizations are going to share their experience, their expertise in the matters of recruitment of civil servants. Recently, Afghanistan was also in news as India and Afghanistan are going to cooperate for the construction of Sahtut Dam. Recently, Afghanistan was also in news as Russia hosted a peace conference for Afghanistan. Please note that as per Doha Agreement between USA and Taliban, USA is going to withdraw troops from Afghanistan. Taliban is a militant group in Afghanistan. Where was the 116th meeting of Permanent Indus Commission between India and Pakistan? So this was organized in New Delhi. It was 116th meeting of Permanent Indus Commission, and this was headed by the Commissioner of Indus Water Commission, and he is Pradeep Kumar Saxena. Now, if we talk about Indus Water Treaty, so it was signed in 1960. At that point of time, the Prime Minister of India was Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, and the President of Pakistan was Ayub Khan. And World Bank played a key role, or a role of mediator, for this treaty. As per this treaty, river Beas, Ravi and Satluj are to be governed by India, and Indus, Chenab and Jhelum are to be governed by Pakistan. India is allowed to use 20% of Indus water for the purpose of irrigation and for the purpose of transport and power generation. As a part of this Indus Water Treaty, there is a Permanent Indus Water Commission to solve the disputes related to this treaty. So total 6 rivers are specified. These are BRS, that is Beas, Ravi, Satluj, and ICJ, that is Indus, Chenab and Jhelum. Commemorative stamp of which Indian leaders' visit to Odisha in 1921 has been released recently. So this is a stamp related to Gandhiji's first visit to Odisha, and recently this was released because it completed 100 years. So in 1921, Gandhiji visited Odisha for the first time as a part of his non-cooperation movement. Now, to commemorate that event, because it completed 100 years, recently a special stamp was released by the government. So Gandhiji visited Odisha for the first time for his non-cooperation movement, and he addressed the public in Cuttack. Apart from that, we celebrate Pravasi Bharatiya Divas on 9th of January. Why so? Because Gandhiji returned back to Mumbai from South Africa on this specific date, that means on 9th of January in 1915. That's why we celebrate this Pravasi Bharatiya Divas. In addition to that, every year on 12th of November, Public Service Broadcasting Day is celebrated. Why this day is celebrated? Because on this date, that means on 12th of November in 1947, Gandhiji visited the studio of All India Radio in New Delhi. So that is why this Public Service Broadcasting Day is celebrated on 12th of November. So these were the most important questions. Now get ready for the test. Please try to attempt the test without pausing the timer so that you can feel the environment-like scenario. Thank you, and that's all for the day.